Hello everyone, welcome to Elliottwave.com YouTube channel. Today is October the 22nd and the chart of the day for today is the pound USD 60 minutes time frame. Now we can see we are currently still expecting the pair to extend to the downside, but the arrow is black turning down, meaning there is no bearish sequence. And if you look at the label, this is being labeled as a WXY, which means the move down is actually corrective, it's not an impulse, and therefore I think with just this alone you know that we think that the bigger time frame should be bullish, because again if this is bearish it would have been labeled as an impulsive move to the downside. Okay, so we are still calling for the downside extension within a corrective structure called WXY, which is a double 3 correction. If we take a look, so this is the 1 hour time frame, right? If we take a look at the higher time frame like the weekly, now we can see right here from the low in the September 2022, we got a sequence of a higher high, and this will be the connector because that's the biggest swing coming up from the lows. So we just simply do the extension analysis from this low. Now we can see that we can theoretically go all the way up to the 100% extension, right? Unless it truncates, of course. There is this thing called truncation, but should never be the primary view, right? Unless it truncates, we can see for the upside extension because of the higher high. And so currently we are pulling back here, but the pullback again is considered to be a corrective structure within a bullish sequence over here. And so what sort of possible target we can expect during this move down then, if we assume we can continue to go down? Now if we take a look at the 4 hour time frame and basically focus on this WX, which is the primary, what we think is the primary connector here, this WXY. Now to be very honest, this structure here, the move down in the pound USD, is not entirely very clear. Now this is not the best connector, because the best connector always has the biggest swing like this. That will be a lower low that has a big swing like this, but in this case it's very shallow, so that it's kind of questionable whether this is the right connector, or this could be the connector here as well, because the difference is where you place your connector is going to determine what the 100% extension is going to be, right? So if this is the connector, then potentially it can go all the way down to the 100%, 161.8%, to finish the current correction here before it starts to rally again. But if the connector is here, let's say, then the 100% extension is going to change. It's going to be like this, and then it's going to be lower in this area before we start to see more upside. So I think because the difficulty to figure out the actual connector, which I think both are equally possible, makes it a little bit difficult. Now of course the safest way is to always assume the connector is at the low, because that will give you a lower target on the downside. But I think, let's say, remember the higher time frame is actually bullish, guys. So everybody only wants to care about the 1 hour time frame, which is calling lower, and then they think it's not bearish, right? Because like I said, the weekly actually is bullish. So the bullish higher time frame is more important than what you see in the 1 hour, right? So this pullback, therefore, if we assume using this one as the connector, then it can go to 127. If this is the right connector, then it's going to be higher, right? The 100% is going to be higher. It's going to be over here. So we don't know for sure 100% because the connector is not very clear. But if this is indeed the right connector, then we can expect 128.40, 126 is where we can find support, and then from there we can then start to rally higher to resume the bullish sequence to the upside over here. Okay, so overall then we can still see a bit more downside to maybe around 128 or so before we go higher to resume the bullish sequence. Now again, the higher time frame always takes precedence over the 1 hour. So even though the 1 hour calling it lower, it doesn't necessarily mean this is a bearish market. Okay, so that is the update here, guys, from the pound USD today. As always, if you want to get more updates on Forex, commodities, indices, feel free to check our service. We have 14 days trial, and the link is in the description of the video. So see you all again next time, and have a nice day, everyone.